Have you noticed something strange about your attention lately? It feels thinner than it used to. You sit down to read, and the words slide off your eyes. You start a task and your mind drifts within minutes. You watch a movie, and your hand reaches for your phone halfway through. You finish a conversation and cannot recall what was said. You scroll for an hour and feel emptier than before you started. Something has changed inside you, and you cannot quite name it. Your attention is not gone. It has become thinner, lighter, almost translucent, like fabric worn down by too many washes. This thinning is not your imagination. It is one of the most measurable shifts in human cognition this decade. Researchers tracking attention spans over 20 years have documented something quietly alarming. Average sustained focus has collapsed sharply. In 2004, the average screen attention lasted around 2.5 minutes. By 2024, it averages 47 seconds. That is not a small drift. That is your inner architecture being remodeled without your permission. And yet, this is not a story about doom. It is a story about understanding what is happening inside you. Because once you see it clearly, you can begin to reverse it. So let us start with the question you may not have asked yourself yet. Why does attention feel thinner now? The answer begins with how attention actually works. Attention is not a single muscle but a layered system. There is a top layer that decides what to focus on. Beneath it, deeper systems hold that focus in place. The top layer is fast and flexible. The deeper layers are slow and require steady fuel. When your brain only practices the top layer, the deeper layers begin to weaken. Like any muscle never used, they atrophy quietly. Modern life trains only the surface of your attention. Quick scrolls, quick switches, quick rewards. The deep layers, the ones that hold a book for an hour, are barely touched anymore. But there is something even more surprising about this pattern. Every time you switch tasks, your brain pays a hidden cost. Neuroscientists call it attention residue. A small part of your mind stays attached to the previous task. It lingers there, even when you have moved on. The more switches per hour, the more residue accumulates. Eventually, your mind is filled with fragments of unfinished thoughts. This is why attention feels thinner. It is not gone, but scattered across many open mental tabs. You are not distracted because you lack discipline. You are distracted because your mind runs too many background processes. If you have experienced this, you are not alone, and you are not broken. You are responding exactly as a human brain should respond to an unprecedented environment. For 200,000 years, the human brain evolved in quiet landscapes. Information was rare and attention was abundant. Now, information is infinite and attention has become the rarest resource. The ratio has inverted in a single generation. Your brain was not designed for this density. No brain in history was. The thinning you feel is the friction between an ancient system and a modern world. It is not weakness. It is biology meeting an environment it never anticipated. Your ancestors held attention on a single horizon for hours. You hold it across 40 open tabs at once. The equipment is the same. The demands are not. Picture this. You are working on something important and a thought drifts in. You should check that message. You should glance at the news. You should reply to that email. Each thought feels small, but together they shred your focus into ribbons. What neuroscience discovered next changes everything. Deep attention is built on a chemical called norepinephrine. It keeps you alert without overwhelming you. When norepinephrine is steady, focus feels smooth. When it spikes too often, focus becomes jittery. Every notification, every quick swipe, every micro-decision spikes this chemical. Hundreds of small spikes per day exhaust the system. By evening, your brain has nothing left to spend. The fuel for deep focus has already been burned on trivial alerts. This is why your hardest mental work feels heavier than it used to. The fuel tank empties before noon. You are not lazy. You are running on cognitive fumes. And here is where the question gets personal. What does this mean for your daily life? It means the small choices add up faster than you think. Each tiny interruption is not free. A quick glance at your phone is not a quick glance. It is a tax on the next 40 minutes of focus. Studies at the University of California measured this directly. After a brief interruption, the average return to deep focus took 23 minutes. Multiply that by 10 interruptions a day. You may never reach full focus at all. The math is brutal. Most modern workers live in permanent shallow focus, never touching the deep layer. They are not weak, they are simply never given the chance to descend. This is why so many people end their workday feeling busy but unfinished. The hours were full, but the attention was hollow. You felt productive in motion, yet empty in result. The day ran past you, not through you. This is the quiet grief of modern work. Many hours spent, few hours lived. Comment which of these patterns describes your daily focus struggle: the constant switching, the empty scrolling, or the evening exhaustion. If this feels familiar, drop a single word below: focus. Share what has been quietly stealing your attention this week. Now let us return to the deeper layer of this question. There is a part of your brain called the default mode network. It activates when you are not focused on anything. It is where reflection lives, where memory consolidates, where creativity quietly assembles itself. In a healthy attention system, the default mode network gets regular rest periods. Idle moments fuel it. But modern life has eliminated idle moments. Every gap is filled with a screen. Waiting in line, you scroll. Waiting for coffee, you scroll. Waiting for sleep, you scroll. Even boredom, the great fuel of imagination, has been outlawed by the device in your pocket. The pause has been erased, and with it, the soil where thought grows deep. The default mode network never gets to breathe, so creativity thins, memory thins, and attention thins along with them. The thinning you feel is not only at the surface, it runs all the way down to the roots. Stay with me. This next part will explain something about your brain you have never been able to articulate. Attention is not just cognition, it is also identity. What you pay attention to becomes who you are. Over time, your focus shapes your sense of self. When attention scatters, identity scatters with it. You may notice this as a vague feeling of unreality. You feel busy but unclear, productive but unfulfilled, present but unrooted. This is not depression, it is attention drift, mistaken for emotional drift. The good news is that this is reversible. The deep layers of attention can be retrained. What is coming next is the exact method that fixes this. The first step is recognizing that attention is trainable, not fixed. Like any muscle, it grows with repetition. You do not need hours. You need short daily reps of unbroken focus. Start with 20 minutes of one single activity. No phone, no tabs, no second screen. 20 minutes feels small, but it rebuilds the deep layer. Each session strengthens the foundation. Do this once a day for 2 weeks. You will feel the thickness of attention begin to return. The second step is protecting your idle moments. Reclaim the small gaps you have lost. When you wait, simply wait. Let your eyes rest on the wall. Let your mind drift without input. This is not wasted time. This is when the default mode network refuels. The third step is reducing micro-decisions in your day. Each decision burns the same fuel as focus. Wear the same kind of clothing. Eat the same breakfast for a week. Choose one route to work. These sound trivial, but they preserve the fuel for what matters. Attention is conserved by simplicity. The fourth step is the most uncomfortable and the most powerful. Be bored on purpose. Sit for 5 minutes without doing anything. No music, no phone, no screen. Boredom is not the enemy of attention. It is the soil where attention regrows. Your brain will protest at first. It will beg for stimulation. Let it beg and stay still. Within days you will feel something surprising, a new quiet beneath the noise. That quiet is the deep layer of attention waking up again. It has been there the whole time, sleeping but never lost. But there is one more piece, and it may be the most important of all. Attention thrives on meaning. The brain holds focus longest on things that matter to it. If your day is filled with tasks that feel meaningless, attention will leak no matter how disciplined you are. So ask yourself a harder question. Are you struggling with focus or with purpose? Sometimes the thinning of attention is the symptom. The cause is a life slightly out of alignment. When you reconnect with what matters, attention begins to thicken on its own. The system remembers its purpose. This is the part most productivity advice never mentions. Tools cannot fix a misaligned life. The deepest focus comes when your work and your values are pointing in the same direction. When that alignment returns, attention stops feeling like a battle. It begins to feel like a homecoming. So here's the truth this question has been leading you toward. Your attention is not broken. It is simply scattered across an environment it was never built for. The thinning you feel is real, measurable, and reversible, but it requires intention. You must choose, every single day, what deserves the deep layer of your mind. Most things do not, a few things do. Protect those few things like the rare resources they are. Tonight, before you sleep, try something simple. Put your phone in another room for 10 minutes. Sit with your own thoughts. Notice the discomfort, notice it pass. That small act is the beginning of rebuilding your inner architecture. Tomorrow, choose one task and give it 20 unbroken minutes. Just one. If you can do this for 7 days, something inside you will shift. You will feel the thickness of attention returning. You will remember what it feels like to be fully present in your own life. You will hear conversations more clearly, read words more deeply, feel time more honestly. You will notice the small textures of your own life again, the way light moves through a room, the way a thought completes itself when you do not interrupt it. The world will not slow down for you, but your inner pace will steady itself. That steadiness is the gift on the other side of this work. If this video gave you a new way to understand your mind, share it with someone whose attention also feels thinner lately. Subscribe if you want to keep exploring what focus really means in a fractured world. Leave a comment with the word focus, and let this be the moment you began the return. Your attention is your last real currency. Spend it like it matters, because it does. The world will keep getting louder. Your work is to grow quieter inside it. Welcome back to your own mind. Welcome to the path.